top5website.com. You already know what's going on. Quick little, Sunday live stream. Because I didn't do, let me fix my light. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Because I didn't do one on Friday. Usually I do my Friday live streams, but I had work Friday. I was tired. Just didn't want to do it. So boom. We'll have somewhat semblance of consistency. All right, so boom. Noname. So I just did the Noname album review. I reviewed her latest album, which is titled Sundial. And let's share our screen here. And it seems that Noname is in a bit of a kerfuffle. Here's my Noname Sundial reaction. I actually rated the album very good. I said it was the best album to come out this year. Even though I don't agree with all of Noname's politics, I think she means well, mostly. And I thought the album was very musical, very good, right? Okay, so boom. That's the music side. But she has faced some heat recently due to a feature by Jay Electronica on this very album on a song called Balloons. So firstly, let's just take a look at this Jay Electronica verse. So Jay Electronica, if you don't know, this is a Rock Nation artist. I believe he's still signed to Jay-Z. He's very aggressively Muslim. Nation of Islam, he makes no mistake about it. He makes no mistake about, where he stands politically. And, Nation of Islam, Farrakhan, these are groups that have been criticized for anti-Semitism for a very long time, right? So boom, here is the song, Balloons, featuring Jay Electronica and Aaron Allen Kane, produced by Saba, shout out to Shaba, and Bernardi. And here specifically is Jay Electronica's verse. Now, do I think Jay Electronica is anti-Semitic? No. I don't think that criticizing a Jewish person, which Jay Electronica does in this verse, makes you anti-Semitic. And just for those who are unaware, let's look up the definition of anti-Semitic. If I can spell it correctly, there we go. Hostile or prejudiced against Jewish people. Now, by that definition, do I think Jay Electronica has anti-Semitic verses? Yes. Facts! If you listen to Jay Electronica's music, especially on A Written Testimony, which I also reacted to. I reacted to that whole album. It's a great album. But he is, the synagogue of Satan. Jay Electronica goes off. He has, I think there's some hostility there. So does Jay Electronica have anti-Semitic verses towards Jewish people? Yeah, I think so. I would say yes. Is this verse on Noname's album one of those anti-Semitic verses? No. Facts! It's not. So anyways, let's just take a look at this verse, and then we can get into the whole Noname situation. And I'm on Twitter, also social media, and people are calling the verse anti-Semitic, but they're not pointing out what was said. I don't think this is anti-Semitic, but let me go to the points where I think that they're talking about. He says, everywhere I step, I leave a trail of names of the sons of Yaqub and a trail of flames. So Yaqub. So here's the rap genius definition that everyone's referencing. Oh, just read the, because others are asking, how is this anti-Semitic? And then others are like, oh, but we'll just read the genius definition. Okay, so I'm going to read it right now. In the Bible, Yaqub, Jacob's Hebrew name, is an ancestor of the Hebrew people, which later became Jewish people. Now, previously, I thought, and I'm not Nation of Islam, I thought Yaqub, the mention of Yaqub, was in reference to all white people. And let me go where I got that from. It was another Jay Electronica song. We Made It, lyrics, Jay-Z. Nigga, we made it. Okay. Jay-Z says it. He says, I'm ready to chase the Yaqub back in the caves. This is Jay-Z, not Jay Electronica. These are the last days, but do I seem phased? I'm ready to chase the Yaqub back in the caves. See? According to the Nation of Islam, which is where Jay Electronica is referencing, Yaqub was the creator of the race of devils or the white race. I don't understand. Well, this is the issue with Rap Genius, right? Anyone can contribute. So I can click here, suggest an improvement, and I can say, no, this is not what Yaqub means. This is what Yaqub means, according to the Nation of Islam. And let's see where they got this definition from. Message to the black man. Does he mention Yaqub? Oh yeah, right here. According to Allah, the origins of such teaching, it was okay. So it doesn't say nothing about Jewish people being Yaqub. Yeah. The NOI believes that white people are a race of devils created 6,000 years ago by a black scientist. So now this is saying Yaqub is a black scientist who they claim is the biblical Jacob. They selectively bred whites. But here, for Noname's definition, they're saying Yaqub is specifically the Jewish people. I've always thought Yaqub was mentioned, that meant white people, which of course it's okay to just say, yeah, fuck all white people. But when you say Jewish people specifically, that sect of white people, no. It's not okay, right? So boom, this is the part where everyone is all up in arms about. But this is not even what it, like they don't understand it. I don't understand it. I thought I understood it, but they definitely don't understand it. So I actually might suggest an improvement to IQ, log into my Genius account and suggest an improvement. And then just reference this here, and then reference this Elijah Muhammad, who is the founder of the NOI, and reference this as well. And then there are some other parts too, I guess. The crescent in the star with the red in the foreground is the flag that I bang as I'm laying the law down. This is not anti-Semitic. The crescent in the star with the red in the foreground, if I'm not mistaken, is the Nation of Islam flag. Yes. Crescent moon, star, red. I mean, that's not a shot at Jewish people. I love this bar right here. I'm Pink Floyd in Berlin. I'm tearing the wall down. If you haven't heard that Pink Floyd album, The Wall, gotta listen to it. A lot of people only listen to Dark Side of the Moon. Gotta listen to The Wall. I think there was a documentary on The Wall too. Oh, here's another bar. There's like two more bars where people are like, oh, anti-Semitism, right? Right here. It's all a hoax, quite simple. A joke like Zelensky, the imams, the rabbis, and the Pope incidentally. So Zelensky is he the president? Does Ukraine have presidents? He's the president, I would say, of Ukraine, or prime minister, whatever they have. Yeah, president is a joke. So he's implying that Zelensky is a joke. I can't say my true thoughts on the Ukraine situation on YouTube. Otherwise, my video will get demonetized. And that's a fact. I wonder if I can show y'all that right now, actually, while we're on live stream. If you speak out against the Ukraine war on YouTube, they will demonetize your video and probably take it down. Let me see if I can prove this to you, just so you know I'm not chatting. So Google AdSense, this is how you get paid on YouTube. When you get your YouTube checks, Google AdSense send it to you. YouTube's owned by Google. Okay, so how do I get, right here. Let me enlarge this. Due to the war in Ukraine, we will pause monetization of content that exploits, dismisses, or condones the war. I'm just not saying shit. So exploits, I can understand that. If you're making content and you're just taking advantage of people on the ground who are hurting, you're doing this. I'm against censorship, but I can understand that. Dismisses, though, you'll pause monetization if I make content that dismisses the war. Okay. But you'll also demonetize if I make content that condones the war. So I can't even have a differing opinion than you. So with that being said, I'm not going to say my true thoughts on the Ukrainian situation because I enjoy making money on YouTube, right? But I'll say this to say this. Well, Zelensky is Jewish. And, I want to verify everything I'm saying, just so we know it's facts. Facts! Zelensky, Jewish. Yeah. Zelensky's Jewish upbringing. Let's go to Wiki, because we know Wikipedia is the source of all facts. Yes. Born to a Ukrainian Jewish family. Okay. So I say this to say people are pointing out this bar. It's so anti-Semitic. Criticizing a Jewish person is not anti-Semitism. Criticizing a black person is not racist. You get what I mean? And here's the bar also that people quote. If anybody asks, tell them Farrakhan sent me. So Farrakhan go crazy. Like, has Farrakhan said some things that could be deemed anti-Semitic? Yes. Yes, he has. Do I agree with a lot of things Farrakhan says? Yes, I do. Unlike Noname, I can say it because my fan base isn't expecting me to be this performative woke, which we'll get into later. But do I disagree with some things Farrakhan says? Yes. I don't have to agree with someone 100% to, respect what they say. So this is another bar people points out. If anybody asks, tell them Farrakhan sent me. Oh, well, he is referencing and shouting out a known anti-Semite. Okay, right. And Farrakhan, for those who don't know, he's the current leader of the Nation of Islam. I don't know how much time he has left. Hopefully he's, last time I seen Farrakhan, he was, people were saying, I know some people in the Nation of Islam, they were saying he was getting sick and, that was years ago though. So hopefully he's better. But if you think that Jay Electronica is anti-Semitic just for shouting out Farrakhan, right? Well, you shouldn't. If you shout out a known anti-Semite, you should not, that means you're anti-Semitic also. Well, then that means you also think Young Thug is anti-Semitic. Yes, Young Thug, bro. Young Thug. What do I mean by that? Well, Young Thug has shouted out Minister Farrakhan. And let's just take a look at this. On multiple occasions. Well, is he taking it down? It's okay. I have another. Young Thug has done it multiple times. Right here, boom. Young Thug says, I want to be just like Farrakhan. So is Young Thug anti-Semitic for saying this? So their argument falls apart, right? There's nothing in this verse that is anti-Semitic. I can point out to you some Jay Electronica verses that are anti-Semitic. I can show you those. It's not this one though. But you have Noname. Noname has basically prepped her followers to be performative, woke. She's channeled them to help support her beliefs that other rappers should also be woke like she. Like she's curated this fan base that are reactionary, that are almost like attack box, virtue signaling, and performative, Like, I am better than you because I care about this topic. I know more about this topic. You like, this is how she's behaved in the past, like with the J. Cole situation, which I'm going to get to. Therefore, the fan base that is flocked and curated for her is like this also. But it's okay when she's criticizing, like, J. Cole or Kendrick or Beyonce. But when it's her time to be criticized, when that same fan base, she does something that they don't like, and now they're going at her like she goes at others. Now it's like, okay, let's get to the actual tweet. Let's see what she says. So, shout out to Joey Gotham, Joey Hip Hop. Noname released a statement on IG regarding the anti-Semitism, say that 10 times fast, controversy surrounding her latest album. Most of the top comments are criticizing her J Electronica verse, which we've already looked into. We've already broken down the verse. It's not anti-Semitic at all. Here's what Noname says. Here's the truth. No, I'm not anti-Semitic. I don't hate groups of people. So anytime there's any claim against that someone claims they're anti-Semitic, you have to make a public apology. Otherwise, if you're in entertainment, your career's over. I'm against white supremacy, which is a global system that privileges people who identify as white. Identifies as white. No, it privileges people who are white. I could identify as white, can I? If I can, we're not going to go into the identifying as gender. But if I identify as white right now, like, I don't get the benefits of white supremacy. So anyways, whatever. I've been clear about this for years. This is what I mean when I don't agree with all her politics, but we'll keep going. I'm not going to apologize for a verse I didn't write. I'm not going to apologize for including it on my album. If you feel I'm wrong for including it, that's fair. Don't listen. Unfollow and support all the other amazing rappers putting out dope music. Your disappointment truly means absolutely nothing to me, and I say that with love. Now, typically, I would be like, shit on them niggas. Shit on them niggas. Facts. But it is quite golden, right? That when your fans who you've curated on this brand of being woke, performative, and out there with it, like, you've curated that fan base because that's what you do when you're criticizing Beyonce, when you made whatever the song she made in response to J. Cole Snow on the Bluff. You wanted to hold them accountable for what they did. And let's go into the J. Cole situation. But before we go into that, I'll say it's truly golden that when it's your turn to be criticized, you're like, bruh, unfollow me, support someone else. You mean nothing to me. Let's just go into the J. Cole thing, because this is going to transition perfectly. Let's try to find a good link here. Oh, her response to Snow on the Bluff was called Song 33. So let's see. Maybe this will be a good link. I just want to make sure whatever article I read goes over the background. Otherwise, I'll just recant the background myself, but it will be better if someone has screenshots of Noname's tweets, because she deletes them so often. Okay, so I'll just do a brief recap. So this is during the George Floyd thing, the 2020 BLM riots, all this. Noname, basically, she's sharing these links to donation places that claim to donate to black rights and stuff, like the Minnesota Freedom Fund, which I think is a scam, right? Is this a scam? Has that been confirmed? Yeah, they've had controversy about donations and misusing money that was meant for bail. But Noname was fully behind, like, this group specifically. And if I remember correctly, she was basically on this tirade like, yo, why are my peers, rappers, entertainers, not sharing these links? Why are they not speaking out and sharing my links? Why are they not speaking about this situation? these niggas, they rap about social justice, but when it's time to do social justice, they're not even tweeting. I don't see them. She personally doesn't see them doing anything. Now, mind you, the nature of the tweets, it was very obvious she was talking about Kendrick Cole. And I wish I could find the tweets, because if you were able to read them, it would be very obvious. This is why J. Cole responded how he did, because it's like, bro, this is obviously about me, right? And it was obvious to everyone else, everyone reading the tweets. But she's basically like, yo, even though I don't see, Cole, he could have been doing something behind the scenes, not to be performative. When I say she's performative, this is what I mean. It's performative woke shit. It's like, let me share these links. Let me rally a bunch of people for the optics. And because someone else is not doing the same thing, you, as a performative person, you assume they're not doing anything. But these guys that you're criticizing could have been doing something behind the scenes. They could have, wired some money somewhere. They could have been doing a plethora of things, right? But because she doesn't see it, okay, it's time to criticize, right? So this group, Minnesota Freedom Fund, which has been exposed for misusing funds which were donated, this is one of the groups that she was very much behind, sharing the tweets, angry why no one's sharing and help them raise money. All right, so boom. So after all this, J. Cole responds with a song called Snow on the Bluff. Now, J. Cole's response to Noname and her vicious attacks towards him, right? This song was much more understanding of Noname's position than Noname is understanding of her fans criticizing. Like, he was more understanding of Noname's criticism of him than Noname is understanding of her fans' criticism of her right now. And I'm cooking right now. Let me hit my academics facts, because I really am cooking. Make sure I'm not missing no live chats. Do I have it open still? Okay, I don't have it open. We'll get to that later. So here's J. Cole, Snow on the Bluff. He said, yo, people think I'm deep. They think I'm super intelligent, like, just because I have a college degree. Like, there's a young lady who's way smarter than me. He's talking about Noname. He said I scrolled through her timelines during these wild times. Again, this is BLM 2020. She's mad at, everyone. She's mad at me and my guys because we're ignorant. We don't know as much of her. She has her heart all on her sleeve. She's mad at all the celebrities. I think she's talking about me. It was very obvious, bro, that she was talking about you and Kendrick. Kendrick's like, bro, I don't give a fuck. Okay, here's Noname's tweet right here. So we don't have the screenshot, but we got some of it. And there was a series of tweets. It wasn't just this one. Noname says, poor black folks all over the country are putting their bodies on the line in protest for our collective safety. And y'all favorite top-selling rappers are not even willing to put a tweet up. Niggas' whole discographies be about black plight, and they are nowhere to be found. Now, on the face value, you would be like, yeah, like, why is that so bad? Well, number one, you don't know what they're doing behind the scenes. Number one. Number two, not everyone agreed with the BLM thing. When BLM was happening, I didn't see, like, you could look at my timeline, 2020, I didn't say nothing about that, man. For all the corporations and companies to get behind this, like, you see Reddit, they turn their avatar into a black rights thing. Corona does something black rights. Brother Printer Company, every company is just all of a sudden understanding of the black plight after all these years. Like, this is the one. So I was very skeptical of it. It was obviously very well coordinated, very well funded, which black rights movements that were organic in the past were not that way. So during that time, even though I felt, the police violence and all this stuff, it's not good, but this movement is also not organic. So I wasn't even behind it, right? And I've been in black organizations. I've done black rights work in the past. But even me with the BLM, I'm seeing beyond it. And of course, it turns out that BLM was what? A scam, right? The organization. And again, I've seen Alicia Garza speak. I've sat there and watched BLM, like Alicia Garza, co-founder of BLM. I've met her. I watched her speak. So I have a little bit more insight into this than most people. And based on what I decided I'm not behind this BLM thing because to me something doesn't seem right. And when we saw how they misused funds, and we saw like how the intersectionality thing took over the overall tone of Black rights. Anyways, not to go too far into that because I can criticize that all day. But even me, I was a person who was like, I'm not necessarily behind all this. But Noname is like, no, you cannot have a different opinion, bro. People over country putting bodies on the line. And y'all, really what she wants, they won't even put a tweet up. But what if they're actually doing something behind the scenes? What if they don't agree with what you agree with? Niggas' whole discography be about Black plight and they're nowhere to be found. So that's why people thought it was also about Kendrick, because obviously To Pimp a Butterfly is one of the magnum opus of Black plight art in the past 10 years, right? So I'm just pointing out J. Cole's verse to say, yo, he was very understanding of Noname's criticism. And this is people called it a diss song, but this ain't a diss. She strikes me, he's talking about Noname, as somebody blessed enough to grow in a conscious environment with parents that know about the struggle for liberation. Her frustration comes from the fact that most people don't see. Just because you woke and I'm not, that ain't no reason to talk like you better than me. Come on, facts. It's facts. How you gonna lead when you attacking the very same niggas that really do need the shit that you saying? Facts. Instead of conveying you holier, come help us get up to speed. Facts. And to that, Noname replied something like, "You grown as hell," or maybe that was one of her fans. But she's basically like the attitude of, it's not my job. He said, I'm on some fucker retweet. Most people is sheep. Facts. If I can make one more suggestion respectfully, okay, Okay, we gonna get through this. We don't want to go through the whole verse. But go listen to Snow on the Bluff by J. Cole. It's a response. It's not a diss. It's just some real shit. Now, can we kind of see Noname's response to this? Because Noname doesn't make bad music. And this is the beat that was produced by whom? Madlib, my favorite producer. And how does she start off? J. Cole's very centered, understanding response to Noname's uncalled for attacks. He had a very centered, sensitive response, right? Very self-aware. What is the first thing Noname responds with? It's patriarchy. It's patriarchy. Oh, man. It's patriarchy. Nigga's quiet as a church mouse. How is he going to write about me when the world is in smokes? Wow, look at him go. Now I'm playing a victim. This is a Karen move. You throw the stone, and when it's thrown back, now you play victim. How is he going to write about me when the world is in smokes? But you was writing about him when it's people in trees. George was begging for his mother. He's saying he couldn't breathe. Bro, what does this have to do with J. Cole? Trans women being murdered. I can't make this up, man. Distracting the convo from organizers. Girls is missing. It's like she's throwing everything at J. Cole. Like, bro. Okay, right. So we can clearly see that Noname, she can criticize. On her album, she criticized Jay-Z again, Beyonce again. In the past, she's criticized Cole, Kendrick. But when they respond, it's an issue. But now that her fan base is criticizing her, I can't take it. Play the victim. Right? So, I don't know. How do y'all feel about that? Am I tripping? Noname the Gypsy. Let me read these live chats real quick. I didn't forget about y'all. Let me read the live chats. Michael Marshall, he says, I remember the time she came at Cole. Yeah, so I just went over that. These are from earlier. And he says the anti-Semitic thing is used very loosely. I agree. I even think the definition that I saw of anti-Semitism, hostility or prejudice to Jewish people, prejudice, yes, I can agree. But hostility, I don't know. Kame Fukuro, he says Dr. Yaqub, he's talking about Yaqub, we was talking about Yaqub earlier, was believed to be King Tutankhamun's distant uncle. He absconded from the tribes to begin his experiments on creating the Yaqubian race. Okay, yeah. So he's basically validating what I had read in one of those other Rap Genius codifications that Yaqub was created by a scientist. Okay. Mr. ASAP AB, what up? What up? Oh, loyal follower. Love to see Noname folding. She's a phony. Y'all are crazy. Jamari says, I don't understand why people be looking to Cole or Kendrick as leaders. I love hip hop. I grew up part of this culture. I genuinely don't care if any of them protest or donate. And Jamar, you know what the funny thing is? Not long, maybe like a year or two after Noname criticized rappers for not stepping up, there was something that happened in entertainment where an entertainer spoke up about something, but they were wrong. Like they didn't know what they were talking about. And then Noname, she comments on that. Again, has nothing to do with her, but she comments on it and she goes, if she says something to the effect of, if you don't know what you're talking about as an entertainer, just stay out of it. But you just criticized J. Cole and other rappers for staying out of it. So what is it? Jamari says, most of that never directly helped me. And the people's I care about. Anyways, if everybody starts in their community, and start trying to be the main character, we feel further. And I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. That's like my philosophy. It's like change starts from the individual. You start change from the individual from where you're at. You can't change, like trying to start and change the whole world from this huge macro perspective, bro, that's damn near impossible. If you want to enact real change, you start, like you said, locally. Start from yourself. You start as an individual and then you move forward that way. But Noname, she's so on theory. She's so stuck on theory. Like her whole thing is theory. She's reading a lot of books, and I've been there. Like I was in that. For me, it was almost a phase. Like I've had the phase where I was into my black rights bag and Angela Davis, bell hooks, Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu, Stokely Carmichael, obviously Malcolm X. That's the first book everybody reads, which is not that political of a book. It's more of an autobiography. I was more into like speeches. Like I would read Stokely Carmichael's speeches. I would read Dr. Kunjufu's studies, actual studies. I wasn't into like autobiographies, but I was in that bag too. But the difference between me then and Noname is I don't expect everyone else to be on this same page. If other people choose not to get involved with it, I'm not looking at them like they're less than. And that's kind of what J. Cole was saying in Snow on the Bluff. It's like, bro, you're not better than me because you've read some fucking books. Like instead of trying to criticize people, get them up to speed. That's what you're trying to do, right? But anyways, there's one more thing I want to get into. Let me think right quick. Let me have a sip. Hold on. Pause. Mr. A said I got one of the dopest channels. A salute, share, like, share. The best thing you can do if you like my channel, just like the video. I don't know how the YouTube algorithm works. They change it all the time, but I know that likes on videos does help. Oops, I don't know why that video's up. So we went over Noname's response. And here are all her fans that she's curated, right? She's curated her fan base. Like when Jay-Z gets on the song with Jay Electronica, no one, like Jay-Z's fan base doesn't just start attacking him for having Jay Electronica on a song. When Currency did a song with Jay Electronica, Currency fans are not like, why you have Jay Electronica on a song? This is crazy. Why? Because they haven't curated their fan base to be like that. Noname has curated a performative woke fan base because that's how she is towards others. So yeah, like they're gonna respond with stuff like this. Virtue signaling, like they're better than you. Why let Jay Electronica be anti-Semitic on your album? Mind you, there was nothing anti-Semitic that he said. Please remove Jay Electronica. Why'd you? Okay, they're all saying the same thing. Sheep. Like Cole said in Snow on the Bluff. You did not need Jay Electronica. Who let Jay Electronica? Mind you, these people are sheep. They probably haven't even heard Jay Electronica's verse. If they did hear his verse, they would not even, without reading the opinions of others. Again, sheep. If they heard the verse without reading the opinion of others, they wouldn't even have an issue with it. Pure dookie. False, man. Now you capping. Because that verse was fire. That Pink Floyd bar, fire. Why did you keep that anti-Semitic line? Which line? How do you want to get more mainstream, but you stay ignoring your fans' requests? Like, you could be bigger, but you act hard-headed. Again, here's the entitlement. So all these responses are just a reflection of how Noname acts also. Otherwise, these people wouldn't be attracted to your music in the first place. Like, but you know, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. I said in my Noname review, it's like Ouroboros. It's like the snake eating itself, and that's what's happening right now. So, anyways, that's all I have for today. Let me get these live streams out. Austin RG, stop hating. Oh, I got something for you.
You a dirty fat bitch.
Come on, man. Don't come in here hating. What's wrong with you, fool?
I don't give
There we
a
go.
fuck what you think, bitch.
Yeah, we ain't hating, man. We just looking at it. If you think I'm hating, go watch my. Let me pull this up. If you think I'm hating, go watch. I wouldn't say watch my reaction because that's an hour long. Y'all know I do some long. I do long form content. Like, it's not for the people with short attention spans. I don't have a short attention span. Like, okay, so boom. This is a perfect example of what I'm saying with Noname, right? I don't have a long attention span, or I don't have a short attention span. I have a long attention span. I don't have ADHD or any of this stuff that creates a short attention span. So I create long form content. So therefore, the people who like my channel and subscribe and watch my videos, they are going to be similar to me in that they don't have short attention spans. Because look, you're watching a 10-minute, 40-minute, 48-minute, 13. This is an 8-minute, but it's from an hour-long video. So the people who watch my videos are not going to have short attention spans. They're going to be able to watch a 20, 30-minute video, like me. And I connect this to Noname by saying, you look at Noname's fan base, who are attacking her and being cheap. Performative, virtue signaling, woke shit. It's like that. Her fan base is that way because that's how she is also. I didn't even mean to drop a bar like that.
That's called motherfucking bars, nigga.
You know nothing about that. I didn't even mean to drop a bar like that. I was just gonna say, if you think I'm hating, don't watch this because this is an hour long unless you don't have a short attention span. Watch this one. This is my review of Noname's album. I said it was the best album this year. It's not hating. Like I said, I'm not going to listen to some music that's bumping and act like it's not bumping. That's not what I do. Even if I don't agree with her politics, even if I think she's annoying and she's a hypocrite, and I wish she would get off that and just be normal. Even though I think that, if the music is fire, I'm not going to say the music's not fire, bro. Like, that's just not what I do. Jamari says, I had that phase too. My grandma was a Panther in New York. I was firing off on white kids. No, not firing off on white kids. Ayo, firing off on white kids in school is crazy. Being extra as fuck for saying the N-word. When I grew up, I like Noname's music. She is intelligent. Yes, she is intelligent. She is well-read. And again, even though I don't agree with her politics, I feel like I can have a good debate with her about politics, because she's into socialism, I'm into capitalism, with a hint of socialism. I like capitalism personally, but I don't like the deficiencies, the waste, and the poverty that it inherently creates. So I like capitalism with a sprinkle of socialism. Socialism like welfare programs, like even the police department is like a socialistic program because people are pulling money together for a program. Fire department, that's a socialist program. Post office, like I WIC, women, infant, and children. Like I like some socialist programs like Social Security. There was another one I was going to say, Social Security and unemployment. I like those programs in the construct of capitalism. I like capitalism. I like the competition it creates. I like that we can choose between the USPS or UPS or FedEx or DHS, having all these different competing bodies in the same industry drives prices down and drives quality of service up because they have to compete with each other. So I like that about capitalism. But just complete like free market capitalism. Like I watched Patrick Bet David. I don't know how many people watch Patrick Bet David on Valuetainment, but they're into super free market capitalism, which I also don't agree with. I don't agree with free market capitalism, but I'm able to watch content and from people who I don't agree with and still take what I like and then discard what I don't like. It's a skill many people don't have. They can only listen to people who agree with them, like these people on like these people here. But well, you can't see that, like these people here. But I do like some parts of capitalism, but it's with the caveat that there's socialism sprinkled in, and that's how Bernie Sanders is. He's not pure socialist. Like he's a democratic socialist, which is in the construct of capitalism, and that's what I like. But yeah, firing off on white kids in school is crazy. Yeah, for saying the N-word. Yeah, I've never been the N-word police, as long as you don't use it towards me. But it's like with any word. Like, don't call me a bitch. Don't call me any type of name that's insulting. And then we cool. But I'm not gonna be the N-word police. Like in the distance, I hear someone say, nigga. In the distance, I'm running outside, putting on my Superman cape. No, I've never been like that. Just don't insult me. Michael Marshall, her music is good, Jamari. I agree with you 100%. Yeah, I agree with Jamari too. That's why I hate social media sometimes. As an artist, they allow fans into their points of views or perspective. I just want to hear the music. I don't care for these artists' political views, period. Unless you're putting your political views in the music, like Lupe Fiasco, but I'll get to this in a minute, but like Lupe Fiasco when he made Conflict Diamonds or when he made Hurt Me Soul and he's talking about through the Grim Reaper Margaret Macintosh argued the verse 3 of Hurt Me Soul. He's talking about Israeli disarmament and all this. That's cool if you're gonna put it in the music. But social media has also ruined artists for me. Like Lupe Fiasco is probably like, he's for sure in my top 5 rappers of all time. But I've had to completely unfollow him on social media. I actually think he's blocked me because he's just so annoying. He can be so annoying on social media. It just ruined my whole, I would just rather not follow him on social media. Talib Kweli, same thing. Now, Talib Kweli is completely ruined. Like, bro, this dude argues with white people on social media all day. And I can't get behind that. And then, yeah, Noname too. Noname, she should probably just stop. I don't want to tell people what to do, but I'll just say for me personally, social media ain't helping her. Jamar, yeah, he says there needs to be a balance. Yeah, and I think that's in response to what I was saying about capitalism. Yeah, capitalism, socialism. Yeah, I'm not for just pure socialism. I don't know what. And again, this is something I would like to have a conversation with Noname about because she's well read on it. I'm well read on it. I don't know a society that's been completely capitalist. U.S. has never been completely capitalist, but I also don't know a society that's been completely socialist. As far as I know, I think China's communist. I will have to look up who are the socialists, the pure closest thing to pure socialism that we have today. But I'm not for socialism. I think if I work hard, like in a job, I shouldn't be making the same thing as everyone else. Like the top talent should rise to the top. That's what I think. I don't think there should just be one brand of peanut butter, for example, in the store. I don't think there should just be one DMV. Like think about the DMV, right? This is a socialist program. Is it? I guess you could make the argument. Think about how slow the DMV is. We won't say DMV is a socialist program. It's a government-run program, though. And this is the last point I'll make. Then I'll let y'all go. I said I was only gonna go for 30 minutes. We almost to an hour. But think of the DMV, right? The DMV. Every time you go, it's so slow. And the people are rude as fuck, right? At the DMV. Occasionally you'll get someone that's nice, helps you out. But yo, dumb people will watch you stand in line for 2 hours. You don't have one document. When you get to the front of the line, they'll tell you to come back another day. Like, bro, you just saw me wait 2 hours and you're just heartless, right? But that's a government-run program. Why are they so slow? Why are they so rude? Because they have no incentive to be otherwise. And when you say socialism, socialism basically means everything is owned by the people or the government. Let me make sure I'm getting that right. Let's look it up. Socialism definition. Means of production should be, owned or regulated by the community as a whole. Now, unless you're just saying, as opposed to private ownership, which is capitalism. So unless you're just saying we want complete anarchy, those things are going to be owned by the government. And I use the DMV as an example because this is an organization that's ran by the government. It's slow. It's horrible to be a part of, like stand in line at the DMV. But why is it like that? Because they have no competition. It's not like, okay, you have the DMV where you can get your registration and get your car stuff done. You can take a driving test. It's the only place you can do that stuff. But if you had, let's say, AAA also offered all the same services as the DMV, and then XYZ company also offered all those same services. Now you have 3 competing organizations. Now people don't just have to go to the DMV. They can go to AAA or they can go to XYZ company. And they all have to compete against each other because they all need to make a profit. They all need to turn a profit now. So what does that mean? That means they have to lower wait times because whoever has the smallest wait times, that's a huge draw for customers. They're going to get all the customers. If AAA has the slowest wait times, they're going to get all the customers. They have to lower the price of some things. They have to have better customer service because this matters to people. They have to compete. And I made the example with the post office. You have USPS, but then you also have FedEx. You also have UPS. You also have DHS, and they all have to compete. So you can kind of choose, and it drives price down. It drives quality of service up because there are other options. When you have socialism and everything is just owned by the people or the government, you have one option, bro. You only have one choice, and it's more times than not, it's going to be like the DMV, where it's government ran, it's slow, it's terrible. So that's why I'm not for pure socialism. I like the idea of private ownership, but they're like, I watch Republican channels too. I don't just watch liberal programs. I'm not just straight for total free market capitalism because that's how monopolies are created. That's when you have to start bringing in regulation. I am for some regulation. Again, we can get deep into the political weeds, but the main point I'm making is capitalism. I like it, but we have to put some socialism in that. I'm not for just socialism. But anyways, he said, yeah, Talib Kweli got annoying as fuck. Facts. So I think I've held y'all enough on this sunny Sunday in Southern California. Be sure to subscribe if you have not already. This is top5rapwebsite.com. Peace.